What's going on, everyone? This is Young Gun Farmer 416, starting out another day. I just wanted to talk to you guys about my plans for 2016. As I keep moving forward and keep kind of growing a little bit, I have some ideas and hopefully I get them all done. I'm usually a lot more optimistic than I actually end up getting done, and that's just life. But yeah, I'm hoping to show you guys a little bit of where I'm going and what I'm planning. And one of the first things I want to do is I really want to get our front pasture so that it's de-treed. One of the issues that we have here on our farm is we used to have apple trees before we got it, and this is a very, very long time ago. There was apple trees, wild apple trees, and they had like an orchard here too. So wild apple trees come back really easily, especially with the cattle being on there and having manure and everything like that. So our front field has a lot of wild apple trees. So I'm planning on chopping those down and rejuvenating the pasture, getting either aerated or reseeding it to kind of get a higher yield off that pasture. The same thing with the back pasture. We really want to get that so that all the trees are off, and it doesn't take much or take very long, only a couple years, and those trees grow back, and you lose pasture to trees, and you don't want to do that. Land's too expensive to do that, so we're working away on that, and that's step one. And also I'm doing a little bit of renovations. I'll show you guys some pictures of that too, of basically fixing upstairs at our place and redoing it a little bit, taking plaster off and insulating it and redo it. That would be step two. Step three is we have on our piece of property, we have 10 acres of bush. A lot of hardwood maple, some hemlock, black cherry, a bunch of other trees, and it just never was fully taken care of or seen as a huge advantage to the farm. So we never really had it so that it was thinned out or taken care of properly. Anyways, where I'm going with this is I'm hoping to thin that and make it into so that there's walking trails, and maybe in the winter, oh, I'm losing myself here. In the winter, we can do maple syrup, and if we have to get some horses or anything like that, you can use it. And also, you can pasture animals back there. A lot of people don't realize that, but pigs love that type of environment, so do goats. So we're looking at doing that and getting some of it's cleared enough where you can access it, because right now there's a lot of wild thorns and things that you just can't get through there. It's too thick. So I'm hoping to thin that out a little bit and make it so that it's accessible. And I really like that nature comes back to it that way. You get a lot more birds, you get a lot more deer and all that type of stuff. We get plenty of deer as it is because of our ponds, and our neighbors have pine trees. But yeah, I want to bring it back so that I like enjoying the nature and seeing ducks and all that good stuff. So that's step three. And I also got a lot of videos coming up with me plowing and seeding. Also going to show the steps of hay production. I looked on YouTube. There wasn't really a lot there that I find anyway to really show when someone that's never really done it or never really been involved in agriculture sees how hay is produced and why hay is produced. And I kind of want to show the steps of that and ways of doing it, and so that you can see and you understand how we feed our animals in the winter, because in Ontario you have to feed your animals in the winter, right? So it gets cold and we get snow, and the animals need to survive and need to eat. So I'll show you hay production and a little bit of silage production and different ways of doing that. So that's another one video that I'm hoping to do, and also kind of my day-to-day. So showing just fixing equipment or doing basic maintenance on equipment, which doesn't seem like much to the average folk, but you get an idea of what we do and what we're about. And yeah, just a little teaser here. I did end up getting a grain drill, or sorry, not a grain drill, a mix mill or a hammer mill, however you want to kind of gauge it. I guess it was closer to a hammer mill. So that we have the opportunity to mix our own feed as we get closer, and it saves a lot of money, right? Cutting down costs, that's the key. So if we can buy our grain in bulk and know the basic formulas, which I do overall, so you can mix your own feed, and then that way you're not buying feed from the feed mill, and that saves a lot of money. And yeah, what else do I got coming up? Oh, we're gonna have pork. We're really, with cross your fingers here, really hoping we're gonna have our own pork this year and have a couple pigs and we're focusing on breeds that kind of similar to everything else we do around here, which is close to nature as possible. So grass fed and a little bit of grain in there so that they get the fats they need and everything like that. But focusing on what they naturally do. So breeds that naturally do well outside compared to conventional breeds that do better inside. And yeah, so right now I'm looking at either large blacks or Tamsworth as my two breeds. And I thought about Brookshire because in the good old days, our family used to make sausage from scratch, and Brookshire has a higher fat content than some of the other breeds. Tamsworth has a whole, and so does large black. They're very lean breeds, which most of the time that's what I like. I like lean pork, and that's how I really base my business. Is what would I want to eat, or what would I want to feed my family to eat, and that's the way I kind of go about it. And I find that there's a lot of people with a similar opinion on leaner meats and healthier meats that are done as close to nature as possible. So that's another big thing coming up. And what else have I got going on? I guess that's more or less it. I've got a couple things going on. I got to get rid of an old barn, so I'm getting rid of that slowly. Maybe a burn video or two, and yeah, it should be a good year. So I'm excited and keep moving forward, and yeah, lots of good stuff coming up. Can't wait. Stay tuned, and can't wait to see you guys again. Take care.